Station, energy infrastructure, power generation, energy storage, materials, recycling, waste, and water. And then across the bottom, we have the various, what we call subsegments, personal residential, kind of breaking even right now, but water's going to be a big issue. See more and more, I think, investor interest. 80 million that came from some high net worth individuals involved in the agribusiness in Florida, state of Florida, Department of Agriculture, and the remaining amount was a significant investment by a large strategic investor who happens to be the largest synthetic ethanol producer on the planet. It's still nicely profitable. You know, all the VCs say, well, too capital intensive, this one definitely is. And if you take out incentives, you got nothing. Well, in this case, it's not true at all. And that's why the investors went ahead with it, because they saw there's a future here. They're already having negotiations, two different joint venture agreements, two different grant applications, because the joint venture group changed. DOE said you have to apply again, and 4.5 years to get this done.
What were the hurdles? I mean, what takes so much time to get that's a long?
All the joint venture partners involved and the equity folks involved, we went through 10 financial model versions before they all agreed to it. And the issue wasn't that the amount of money that was needed. The issue was the timing of when the money would come in, because the DOE grant.
How do you from a banking perspective, 10 different financial models and trying to figure out which one to use and who goes first and who goes. I mean, what do we need to do as an industry to
startup stage, public stage? So, IP-focused companies, technology-driven companies. Within clean tech, obviously there's
also too. How strong is just for example, you want to sell your energy, is a contract or a letter or what have you? In fact, that's a
LA is the place to be.
Agreed. Last year, 2011, I wrote down some quick stats. The industry did just shy of $9 billion, 713 deals, and this is globally.
I had it earlier on, and people don't read, and when we see, we're affiliated with Pasadena Angels, and one of the things is simplicity in presentation, and when you're an entrepreneur, and I don't necessarily think that you do need proof of concept and customers for some of the angels if they believe in the management team.
When there's grants, contracts that are issued. There was a big problem in the past of trying to find ways to, like, when a company gets a manufacturing tax credit of $5 million, but they can't really utilize that because they don't have income to use.
Sure.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
How difficult is it to find the workforce and the talent that those companies actually need?
They fund training initiatives through these groups. So there's plenty of it out there. They're horrible at promoting it. Horrible.
What kind of deals are being
out
done
there
that you guys are putting together that you see that are, that
we,
seems to be
this
acceptable?
year actually closed on a clean tech Series A round, pre-customer.
How risk tolerant are you?
Myself? Well, we do take, we actually do have, we take risk because we take equity in the companies and take less cash up front. So I think our group of...
Cereplast, the bioplastics company. I mean, there's a lot of great companies, but very spread out. I don't know if the people at these companies, I think in Silicon Valley you have a lot of sectors.
One of the challenges, as it turns out, is fundamental elements of what the city does, right? So most cities are defined by being able to traverse population or business centers in 40 minutes. That means, for instance, that Rotterdam, Amsterdam, and Utrecht are all one city, because you can get to each of them in 40 minutes. But that means that if you're in El Segundo, if you're not in a clean tech ecosystem, you need to address things like the transportation system. That's what you guys are doing. Having mechanisms that actually bring people together physically.
Permit to do this, and things could take maybe a year before you can get to stage one and starting up. I know that there's other countries out there, maybe Sweden's one of them, of course there's no angel investors, but maybe the government could do something. Some country in Africa.
Except for our defense industry here in the United States, we do not have an industrial policy for any industry. Japan, South Korea, China, Sweden, United States investors really don't like to go outside the United States. Investors from other countries that I've talked to, they don't care. Where's the deal? Let's do it. Because they're cosmopolitan in nature. You know, you speak 3 languages, you're trilingual, 2 languages, bilingual, 1 language, you're an American. And I think that hinders us from really getting into some very interesting deals.
So to
Because
speak,
that's
because
what I talked to.
they are ahead of us, and so why? I mean, it would shorten the learning curve if we didn't take that approach, and if we looked at what other people were doing, but then again, it's having access to that information and know-how out in different countries to how to bring it in and utilize it ourselves.
I'm not sure it's arrogance, I think it's lack of exposure. People are just not aware of what's going on, people don't know. And because it's such a vast country, they have everything at their disposal here, they don't really need to look further. And so they're not really aware of what's going on beyond the borders. And I think if we had a better education system here that was more geared towards educating people with regards to the real challenges that this planet faces, because we don't heritage